daytime, when you look at this corner, all you see is a White Castle. And it looks like any other corner with a White Castle on it. But back in the 70s and 80s, on a Friday and Saturday night, the corner at Livernois and Warren in Detroit was like no other. This was the hottest spot in the city. Muscle cars from all over got together to show off their cars, talk about who's the fastest. When I think back about the Castle days, all I can say is those were the days.
They turned out, didn't they?
Yes, yes, they did. Real nice, real nice.
Yeah, they turned out.
Yes.
It was good back then. The cars wasn't that fast, wasn't that dangerous. Made little money. Yeah, I was one of the better ones out there.
Better ones,
Yeah, I was the better ones.
What did you have back then? Still had the Chevelle?
Yeah, this was a different one. You know, I tore the other one out in '98. But it was the same year, same thing.
So used to be out the castle every Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, till the police run us off.
The 71 Gremlin, and I bought brand new. 6 months later, I pulled the 6-cylinder out, put a small block Chevy in, it was supercharged on. And painted it black, put flames on it. And that's what I used to drive up to the castle. That was in 71, 72.
I had a 65 442 with a 4-speed. Then I traded that in and I got a 66 with an automatic. At that particular time, I used to race at Detroit Dragway. I had a 51 Chevy. It used to run in E-gas. And we would stop by the castle on the way from Detroit Dragway on Saturday nights. But I had a curfew because I was married and I had to get home. But those were some good days. I was also in a position to, I sold a lot of the parts for the cars that the guys raced at the castle with. And it was nothing for me to sell anywhere from 10 to 15 camshafts and different rear ends, torque converters, distributors, different combinations for guys that raced at the castle because everyone wanted to go faster. And I was the parts man then, and I'm still selling some of the same basic parts today. And we're talking, this is 08, so you can tell the years that nothing's really changed. It's just places have changed a little bit through modernization, but most of the combinations for the cars that are yet out there today are the same.
Another old school street racing from back in the castle days.
Still do it. They ask me.
Back in the day, we used to have a place called the Castle. It was downtown on Woodward Avenue, right? Just before the Fisher Freeway opened up. Well, we'd all meet down there, and guys from the suburbs would bring their cars in, and guys from the city would have their cars, and it was like a little rivalry. And we'd all get together and woof a little bit, and then we'd go down to the freeway there and get it on. And it was fairly safe because the Fisher wasn't open then.
White Castle back in the day.
Yeah, White Castle back in the day. We just come up.
442,
Yeah, 442 what?
396, big
Wait,
block.
hey, wait, but you telling all my business now.
Big
Telling-
block.
you telling all my business.
Come down here
You telling all my
spanking niggas'
business.
ass for little or nothing.
442, 1968. I still got the hurt. 442, 1968, drop top. Can nobody understand what was going on? But
Come in town,
that was the thing.
you
come
race for
down
a couple
here.
$100, man. Make your money, go home, chill. It was just a beautiful thing now. No crime, no harm, no foul.
Right.
But now,
But you didn't
ball
bring
game.
you didn't bring your woman down here. You have your dinner, and you
hey,
go.
your dinner over at White Castle, that's where you had
no,
your dinner at,
you ain't
man.
gonna dinner at White Castle, man. Go
That's
down
the way
there.
it was laying,
You
man,
ain't
back
gonna
in the day.
dinner at White Castle. You go to the cabaret, and you go have on 6 Mile there, E&S shrimp, or you go to one of the other shrimp houses. They have shrimp for the old lady,
Hey,
and you take her home.
this is tradition,
and say,
man.
"I'll
It's
be-
been going on
I'll-
for a long
I'll
time.
be right back. And then you go in the garage, you pull your car out, and the old lady knows. She already knows.
It's traditional. It's
She's
something we've been doing for a
he
long
gonna-
time, man.
And you were raised from 2 o'clock in the morning till sunrise. Now,
Right there on Lebanon.
Right here.
In Warren.
White Castle.
Back in the day, this is where we used to do all our drag racing. Man. This is where we got together at Friday nights, Saturday nights. We get here at 11:30, stay here to 5, 6 o'clock in the morning racing all night long. Made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, but we had a good time back in the day racing, man. 70s and the 80s. Today it's kind of different. We don't really do it no more. We're doing it for this 30-year reunion that we got going on. We still drag race though, but we take it to the drag strip now because our cars go too fast. So today's racing is still good. It's got a lot of muscle and stuff still going on here in Detroit.
Camera's rolling. This is Melvin Coney. This is Melvin Coney, my friend. And let me tell you something. We went to Pink's last year, 2000, which is 7. He should have won. He slept. I mean,
Can't win them all.
can't win them
As long
all.
as you're in the race, you're doing something.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about it.
But he's a winner. He would have won. Would have got the 2 chairs on it. He already got it already, but he'd had 2. He'd had 2. But he'd had 2 with bucks.
10,000.
10,000.
Four rounds away from it.
My friend would have had 10,000. Melvin Cody would have had 10,000. But I tell you what, put somebody up against him to racing, you better come prepared, you better come ready because he got it. He got it.
We ain't holding them up.
He ain't holding him up at all.
I ain't
If you don't
scared.
believe, come see me. Hey, look what I got.
Hey, I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you.
The Motor City is in Detroit, not Ferndale, not Warren, not Bloomfield Hills. This is where the party's at. And we got a lot of stuff. Our garages are packed. Just tell us when you want us to come, and we're going to look forward to getting our spot over in State Fairgrounds for everything that's going on down here on Warren, Illinois. All right? So that's my goal for this year is to make sure we have our spot down in Detroit. In Detroit. The Motor City is in Detroit, baby. Motor City ain't got nothing to do with the suburbs. Dodge, Maine, and everything else came right out of the city of Detroit.
That's right.
Give it to us. Let us have a time.
This is a
Peace
reunion.
and love.
This is a reunion.
That's right. This is our reunion.
This is a reunion when all the guys came out after hours, after all the bars closed up.
That's right.
After everybody went home and went to sleep. We came out and raced our cars when the police were elsewhere. Well, you know how it goes. We race where we can race. That's right. Man, that's what we did. We raced. But take a look at this. Take a look at this. 1969.
RSSS. Nothing but a good time. This is one of many that harvest down in Detroit.
Well, what's up, man? We've been doing this for 30, 40 years, man. And you ain't but 18. I ain't but 18 years. Detroit power.
Detroit Dragway, baby. In the house.
Detroit power.
72. That was my first time going down to the White Castle. 1972. I was 10 years old. Went down there, snuck out the house, and went down there with my brother and sister. That punishment was worth having. Cause seeing all them cars down there, I thought I was in hot rod heaven. And from that point on, it's like all I could think about. One day, I want to be the king of the castle. After watching these guys race and how popular they got, so that's all I wanted. At least that's what I thought I wanted.
When my husband and I first started dating, he asked me, had I ever been down to the castle? And I looked at him and I said, the White Castle? And he said, yeah. I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. So we were riding. We went on down to Illinois and Warren. And when we got down there, I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was packed. There was so many people, so many cars. Everybody was just hanging out, laughing, talking. showing off all their high rides. And it just tripped me out because I'm like, it was like a whole new world for me. I never knew this existed. No, I never been to this castle before. And we got out the car and we were walking around. And I saw everybody from my neighborhood, all the guys hanging out. And I'm like, nobody ever talked about this.
You didn't bring your woman down here.
But in the 80s, man, 1980 to about 85, I had a few good years of running, you know. Then not too long after that, my sons got their license. And I just didn't see street racing the same anymore. Thinking about them being out there, you know, it was fine for me, but then when you think about your kids out there, it's like it's a whole different picture. You know, all I can think about is the police pulling them over after a race or something and asking them, you know, what would your parents think if you was out here if they knew you was out here street racing? What they gonna say? They know. So my mama marked a quarter, my daddy flagged the race. I didn't think that would sound too great, so I said, well, you know, we started going to the track before we got to that point.
Just tripped out. White Castle. Who'd have thought?
It's still good if the guys just don't take it so far. They're putting too many faster cars out there now, getting kind of dangerous cars, getting loose with these small tires on them. They need to take it to the track. They really do.
They call it street racing today, but I think it's reckless, just plain old reckless driving. Our form of street racing then was, it was mapped out, it was staged, a little more orderly, and the people were not standing in front of the cars as they take off. Someone's going to get seriously hurt with the way they're street racing today. That's not street racing, that's just plain old reckless driving and people coming around crashing the party. That's what I think of it.
At the time of around 1969, 1979, all up in there, that's when they were street racing and it was a lot safer. Today, there's no organization in street racing. We raced on the Fisher Freeway when the Fisher Freeway was being under construction. And we used to move the barricades and go down on the Fisher Freeway and race to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Police passed by, never bothered us. But as the day passed on, street racing got the younger group behind me started coming in, and they got dangerous. No organization, racing out on the open street, and this is what caused the problem. No organization, running into the crowds, guys that's not professional drivers, doing donuts in the streets, people standing too close to the races. Back during the Fisher Freeway, everybody stayed up top, and only the cars went down. A lot of these guys that were racing back in '69, they're still around. Some of them are still racing. But we noticed that a lot of us has faded away from the street racing because they've gotten dangerous with it. People are being killed. Cars ain't up to par. They're going as far as racing on side streets, down in stride, hitting parked cars. It's out of hand now. And it will come to a close more than likely. Big fines, going to jail. Now they're calling it criminal. When you run over people, you're gonna have to pay for it. There's no doubt about that.
I know Warren there's White Castle out there. And we did a little street racing, but it started to get a little bit more dangerous. People started to not observe the street safety rules, you might say. And they were gathering too close to the cars and everything, and accidents did happen. But nowadays, the cars are so fast. You got 8-second cars riding on the street. These guys are out there trying to make money. And they're so fast, and you have accidents, and people get killed out here. So what we need is to get more out to the drag strip. They shut down the Detroit Dragway, but you gotta get out of the street racing. There are some areas where it's marginally safe, but street racing is never safe. So all I can say is let's all try to be a little safer with our racing there, and try to remember back in the day when we had the real fun out here between cruising up Woodward here and cruising in the city here. You know, now we even got the Woodward Cruise where we cruise all week long if you want to, as far as you want to go. If you want to cruise from Detroit to Pontiac, you can do that. And all these fabulous cars that are in the Detroit area. And the inner city brothers, we compete. Well, you can see Blue here, right here. You know, my baby get thumbs up every time I go out there, wherever I go. So I want to say we compete and, get off the streets racing in there and just cruise and get a car show.
I say today's street racing is, from a car guy's perspective, being my age, it's exciting to me, but I don't always go. When I was a few years younger, I'd try to get out every weekend and I'd hit Livernois and Warren and look for the races, but it's not racing on Livernois and Warren anymore. It's just like clown per se, and they want to do whatever they do out in Belle Isle, hang out, talk to girls or whatever. So I went further down Warren where the import tuners would race, and that was pretty exciting, but it didn't really have the flair that I would expect from a bigger city or whatever. Went down on Epworth, which right around the corner from where I live. It's pretty nice. It's all right until the police come through and clear it out. But they bring some cars out there. That's one thing about it. So I haven't been down there lately, but it's been a few. I hear a few motorcycles in the distance, But when the cars come out, they come out.
What? It's ridiculous. What have you done?
Street racing is dangerous and illegal, and one ex-street racer is putting his time and his money into getting that message out to kids. Paul Humphreys Sr. used to race for money in pink slips around the streets of Detroit back in the 70s and 80s. Now he has put together Motor City Street Racers, a documentary chronicling his era of street racing and how today's racing is too fast and dangerous to be done on public streets.
Back in the day, street racing was a lot safer, more organized. And the reason why I did this because I need to get people's attention, the young drivers' attention, because street racing is getting a little wild, and we need to take it somewhere safe.
You know, going down to the street races was a cool thing back in the day. But what I liked most of all was getting together late at night. Late night car show. It was like the ultimate thing to me. The atmosphere was right, weather was good. That's what I miss most of all on Fridays and Saturday nights. But things changed when the police stopped us from hanging out down at the castle. At one time they had, everybody under one roof. Now, you got about 10 race spots going on at once. So actually, they made it harder on themselves. But at the same time, we don't have a spot that we can go to, that we know we'll meet up with somebody. You have to drive all over the city just to catch up with somebody. Or should I say, thank God for cell phones now. But yeah, you got about 10 spots happening at one time. And before, you used to get together, and everybody used to meet up at one spot, everybody in the city. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, the get-together is what I miss most of all. Street racing, give or take it. I like it, but, I can give or take it. But the late night get-togethers, I used to like that more than anything.
And now here come the police.
White Castle, you're not eating, start moving. City ordinance, you're not eating the parking lot. You want a ticket, or you can move.
Well, back in the day, you just street race and that was the end of it. You know, it wasn't no commodity behind it. You know, you just street race. If you won, and that was it, you know. But see, we mostly had areas back then to go to instead of, you know, doing it right out in the street. You know, here you ain't hardly got nowhere to do it. But see, there we had back roads we could do it on.
Now, they still got a lot of organized racing going on, but it's going on outward. We're talking about out Telegraph Road, all out that way. They still racing. You don't hear about them running over people out there. I come through out Gratiot Way, going back up toward Mount Clemens. They racing up that way, but they're organized racing. They go in secluded places where they're not gonna have that type of problem. But you can't do that right down in the city. These people, they don't listen, they don't stay back. They get up in the areas where the cars is coming through at high speeds, you're gonna have problems. It don't take nothing but a brake to fail or a wheel to pull right or left, you got problems.
Nowadays, you got too much to lose. Before, you'll, you know, get a ticket, maybe get your car impounded, but you get that back, pay a fee. Now, you do jail time, they'll take your car, and they'll keep your car. You won't get that back, period. So after you don't spend thousands and thousands of dollars getting it just the way you like it, in a few matter of seconds, you lose it for good. And you hope you don't lose your life, hope you don't take somebody else's life. So, you know, you just gotta start going out to the track. But it'll give them an option. They'll say, well, there's something else we can do besides, you know, besides street racing. Go to the track, learn how to do it right.
My name is David Humphreys, a.k.a. Hump the Grinder, a.k.a. Hump Man. That was the name on my 67 Camaro I used to take down to the White Castle in Detroit. Man, we used to hang out way back in, probably the late 70s or mid-70s. We started going down to White Castle at night. I was 16 years old, man. I bought me a 67 Camaro that looked fast but wasn't, okay? People wanted to race me all the time. I'd take them from a roll, my only chance. I was 16 years old. I had friends that liked race cars. We all hung out with people who had engines and fast cars or cars that look fast, cars that sound fast, cars that smell fast. We just hung out together. And I go get my little brother's 10 years old, right? He wanted to come hang out with us. So he'd jump out the window, man, you know, after my mother or our mother went to sleep. She had this thing where, you know, the first sign of a snore, it was gone. She was out for the night. My little 10-year-old brother jump in the car, riding shotgun. We go down to White Castle, hang out. On the way to White Castle, you might run into a few cars. You know, they think they fast, too. They want to race you along the way down Livernois. We get to the White Castle. That's when we, you know, make our bets or watch people making bets. All right, got the location. Everybody jump in the ride. Let's go. 200 or more cars. We caravan down the street, headed to Holbrook. Was one of our favorite spots to race. You know, so the Hump Man, I wasn't into racing back then, putting money down. I had to wait till I got a real fast car, which was the 69 Chevelle. Chevy, man, all the way. So we would get in our cars and go down to Holbrook. Other spots to race too was Cronk. We used to hang out down at Springwell. Was it Springwell right off of Michigan? That was a trap where the police could block us in on both sides and get everybody inside, so we didn't like that spot too well. We go down to Holbrook and get it on. We raced till the break of dawn. It was been plenty nights, street racing all the way till the sun come up. You know, I had a friend Charles. He had the fastest car, the Camaro, the 69, beefed up, ugly as hell, but really fast. Car was hard to race and keep winning, so you had to race smart. You had to, you know, give them the spots that you wanted to give them. It was an art to this street racing, you know. We went to the track, did the thing at the track too. That was cool, you know. Found out your car can run a 13. That's a good feeling. So that was Detroit Dragway. This is back in the early 70s, mid 70s, late 70s. And I left it alone. You know, I got out of it. I started DJing and them speakers wouldn't fit in that 69 Chevelle. So I had to leave it alone, but my little brother, you know, the little brother that was 10 years old jumping out the window, Never knew he ended up being a Chevy doctor. That's right. He ended up sticking with it, passed me up on everything I ever knew. And my nephews, all of them got in the car, so I missed it. I smelled the rubber, smelled the gas and all that, and I started going back to the track, checking things out. But and that 30-year anniversary was really happening to bring everybody together, and that was cool to see everybody that you hadn't seen in so long. They're still looking the same, still talking the same old stuff, and still got the same type of engines that they had back in the day. So 30 years, ain't nothing changed. You know, Detroit has still got it. Detroit is the motor city, and definitely the street racing capital of the world.
Yeah, these car shows, my youngest son was never introduced to street racing. He knows nothing about the street races. All we've done since he started working on cars, which he was 14 when he started working on them. And all he's done was car shows, and he's been out to the track. So he never experienced street racing. So if you don't experience it, you won't have the desire for it. And it seemed to have worked for him. My oldest, now that was a different story. We had to slowly break him off the street racing. You know, 'cause it was still in my blood at the time. So let's introduce the young drivers to the car shows, the cruises, and the track. And then we'll leave it up to them. So now they know they'll have an option. Now they know they have something else to get their car ready for, besides street racing. If they think they're worried about rules, if they feel they're worried about rules at the track, so you gotta have your car a certain way at the car show, well, let me tell you, you have rules on the streets too. There's gonna be rules no matter where you go. So let's just introduce and give them options, and make the streets a little safer.
Get you on camera for a minute.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's Tony
True Blue.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. How
All
you
right,
doing?
now,
Good.
this is my man, Hollywood Sam. We go way back.
Right now we're working with Bryhall Vocational, trying to get them situated, and we have a couple project cars that we're going to be bringing out with them. So I'm just one of the people who have tried to make a difference, but what you're doing down here is, this is beautiful. I never could have imagined anything like this, and the quality of the cars is just beyond me. And you're doing a good job, and you need to be congratulated.
Well, thank you, Sam.
And thanks for allowing me to be involved with you.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
And I hope you find a place for me.
Because you think about this. All these cars had to come through you back in the day.
Well, at one time they did come through
they
me.
had to.
I sold enough General Kinetics camshafts, that's for sure.
That's right. All right, thanks,
Thank you for the
Sam.
time.
All right. So you do a lot of the tours, huh?
Yeah, I get up here on Sunday and stay all week. My father-in-law's over here in Berkeley. But I run Route 66 a lot. I've been down there 9 times.
Okay.
234,000 on that car.
Wow.
In your way?
No, you're fine.
Oh, moved it.
You can stay right where you are.
It might be on the screen one day.
That's right. Well, how's everybody?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good, thanks.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
I love you too. Bye.
It's true. It's true.
No, we got down.
No.
She thought I
Daddy, I'm getting ready to go to the Jagway.
Yep. Ready?
Don't forget your helmet.
Oh, thank you, baby. Come on. Seatbelt on. So you just never know what young drivers are watching. What do you have to say for all the young drivers coming up today? What should they get into? And
They should first get a license. And they should get some insurance. And they should not be drag racing out here in the streets. And number one, you cannot beat a train at a railroad crossing. Forget about street racing. I know I did it. I know I've attended street racing races. I know what they're doing now. They're not only taking the race car, they're taking the car, the trailer, spectators, dogs, bicycles. They're taking everything at the race. And you don't want to be part of that. It just becomes something in your life you don't need.
Hey, we gotta make sure it's clean, you know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure it's right out here. Can't have no accidents like that when I come out here on the track, you know what I'm saying? Give me a few more minutes, you keep that camera where it's at. I'm gonna put some smoke in it for you.